a typical Nat Mundy stepped in a good pile of shit. Basically, some buddies at Monticello Motor Club that had ordered some cars tapped me on the shoulder and said, we want you to be the guy to run the dealerships. And when I had set up an event at Monticello Motor Club for Jim a couple of years before, I had started quite a good relationship with Jim and his son Jesse, who was running the actual company itself. The long story short is those people said you should have Nat do this. But like I said, I think I stepped in the ultimate pile this time. And it just sort of happened upon me through relationships. The car world has some of the best people in it because we have this one thing in common. Politics don't matter when we're on the racetrack. All we're thinking about is a 10-10 sport, right? Where we have our mind is fully focused on getting to the finish line first. My job is basically my dream job because I am delivering people their dream. And people that buy Glickenhaus cars and be our customers, the people that come to us on our events, they're all proper gentlemen and women who really love cars. And they love the idea that they're buying something created here in America. And we're sourcing a lot of our parts and things in America and using American coach builders to make other parts that we need. There's no stuffy nature to Glickenhaus. You put a deposit down, you're next in line. And we all like that. You hold your position until you get your car. We're not playing games. And a lot of our customers have chosen to buy track versions as well, including with the boot, an off-road version. And they can run with the Glickenhaus team in Baja. And we have our 008 buggy coming out, which is a truly race-bred vehicle, which will be street legal in a kit form. My buddy Dickie Regal, who I've known from Bedford, New York, probably about 20 years, he is part of the new ownership of Lime Rock. He heads it up. He basically said to me, why don't you come on up with the boot? And I said, I'll bring the factory prototype. Hey Dickie, good to see you, bud.
What's going on, Nat?
Thanks for coming by the boot. Thank you for my parking spot.
Hey, you know, to put the boot here, this is like the center of the action here at Lime Rock Park. It's pretty great.
Absolutely fantastic weekend. So tell us what this weekend is and why it matters to you guys.
Now, we're sitting here in the middle of my favorite place in the universe, Lime Rock Park. You know, we put together an ownership group about 16 months ago, bought Lime Rock from Skip Barber, who remains one of our owners, and we're sitting here in the middle of the IMSA weekend. This is our single biggest day here at the park. We probably have 10,000 people here today enjoying absolutely fantastic racing. You know, the Michelin Pilot Challenge series that ran this morning was one of the best races I've ever seen.
The spirit of Lime Rock is definitely still continuing. The hill today was just full of spectators, and I haven't seen it this busy, at least in the last decade, to see this many people on site.
I grew up here, coming here with my dad, but then I started camping here with my family, and I was here for 7-8 years and then started running in the Grand Am series. So brought my vintage Airstream here, and we've got about 400 campsites. They're sold out.
Lime Rock it was the first track I ever drove at on track with Skip Barber Racing School, and it was the first track that I ever spectated an event with. And then it turned out, you know, in my late 20s, I slept in the Pines for 30 days a year because back then there were 5 events.
We have had 3 major events for the last probably 10, 15 years, and we've just added a 4th to the major schedule, and that's Grid Life. So we start off our annual calendar with Memorial Day with Trans Am SVRA. Today is IMSA here in the middle of July. In the middle of August, we have Grid Life, which is an up-and-coming series, the youngest grid in the industry, and we're really excited about that. And then we end our public-facing season every Labor Day weekend with our historic festival, where I believe the boot was an award winner last year.
It was. We rolled across the line. That was pretty special to get an award from you, of all people.
Now, you've been a long time part of Lime Rock Park. Jim Glickenhaus has been a long time part and partner here, and what he has been able to achieve, what the brand has been able to achieve, the success at Le Mans recently, the you know, being here as a part of our historic festival and having the original boot and this beautiful vehicle here, you know, we're honored to be a part of that up and coming brand and all the success that's coming ahead.
And I appreciate the fact that you guys are our fans, because we put a lot of sweat equity into this.
It seems like you're having a pretty good time with this. I don't know that I've seen you any happier.
So long story short, I have one job now. So, you know, it's the first time I've ever had one job.
That's a win.
I get at least a day off, and that day off can be spent actually enjoying the cars that I get to sell. And the nice part about the Glickenhaus brand for me is that people actually want to buy these. It's not so much of a flex, it's more of a car culture feel. Meaning the people that are buying a Glickenhaus are truly enjoying the part about speccing it, the experience, going to Le Mans with us, coming to track days here at Lime Rock. So now I've got a home track. that, you know, is within an hour of our factory in Danbury, Connecticut.
Yep. Well, I mean, Lime Rock Park here in the northwest corner of Connecticut is a real Connecticut Renaissance story. Senator Richard Blumenthal was just here as one of our marshals. And, you know, politics aside, the guy really supports and loves Lime Rock Park.
Thank you very much for your time. Get back to your very well put together 10,000 person public event. And I'll talk to you soon.
Right,
Thanks, Dick.
Thanks. Great to see you.
Good to see you. I drove up from New Canaan this morning, nice drive up Route 7, and Dickie met me at the gate and brought me to the parking spot where we were earlier. Dickie had a successful career running large companies, and he knows how to manage. Lime Rock has really come into its own the last 2 years with the new ownership. The people that are there are truly enthusiasts. It's really to get in front of the people that will potentially be our buyers, but also our fans. Today I was inundated with people asking about the car. This boot was the first road boot they built, meaning not the race truck. So this truck has an LT4 650 horsepower supercharged engine, made it up to an LM 4-speed transmission, but it also has creature comforts like Apple CarPlay and 19 inches of travel and suspension, so it rides incredibly well, and even has one-touch power window. The frame has not been powder coated, and the reason why it hasn't been powder coated is because we want to make sure the welds are holding up and the chassis isn't breaking down after road use of probably close to 20,000 miles on this unit. It's a little bit rougher on the edges, but mechanically, it's basically a brand new vehicle. It's all the upgrades have been made. This particular vehicle has been driven from Connecticut all the way to La Paz at the end of the Baja. Once we got to California, we drove it across the border, didn't trailer it, and then it chased the Baja race truck. This became a rescue vehicle for our race truck to bring a part to one of the stations. And the fact that it drove, you know, then back again to Connecticut. So this has been sort of the test mule since the beginning. This particular truck will actually get basically a 2022 overhaul. So over the winter, this will come apart and they'll powder coat the frame and then assemble it with all the upgrades that we've learned from the other 5 two-door boots that exist. And I think this truck has suffered the most when it comes to testing. So this is boot number 4. This is the last of the two-door boots we will produce. The rest of our boots going forward will be our 4-door version of this truck. So this is a pretty special one in that this has not been raced, this has not been beaten up. This is basically every piece of the good trucks, all the good test trucks put into one. So this is our final production version of the two-door. We're talking to like-minded people at car events like this. So this is the Chowderheads event. This particular location is Bruce Park in Greenwich, Connecticut. It's my stomping ground from when I was a kid, and it's my backyard now. Very easy to come by and talk to a bunch of car enthusiasts that didn't become car enthusiasts yesterday. These are all lifers, people that have been in the car enthusiast space for years. It's exactly who we want to communicate with and be in front of, because they talk about our cars if they're not buyers. They talk about their cars with people that are buyers, but also too, it's just great to see a bunch of familiar faces from an area that I grew up in and bring something that I'm truly proud of. We're very much an enthusiast brand. That's why we go racing. We're racing to show off our cars because our street cars really are race car technology. We're the American brand that gets to go racing, and I think everyone here knew that we finished 3rd at Le Mans. They know about our Baja program. Our marketing approach is basically me, Nat Mundy, bringing a car to a car meet. We want to talk to our peers. These are our peers. Because we want them to be included in the family and come to our events and root us on. This is no easy business. But the great part about it is that a true enthusiast understands why this truck looks like this because they know where it came from. They know that Steve McQueen raced it in '67 with his Baja boot. That people know this is the reimagined. There's about 100 people in the world that get paid to race cars between F1 and NASCAR and other heavy sanctioned programs. At the end of the day, we're that American team that privateered and went to Le Mans in 2 years and podiumed in the 2nd year. That's no joke. The fanfare of Glickenhaus is the people that understand the fact that this has been a lot of sweat equity, a lot of money spent, and to produce something that's truly American.